The 2025 NCAA Men's Water Polo Championship continues here from Stanford. Our second semifinals on the way. Welcome to Northern California. Inside the Avery Aquatic Center, alongside John Abdion, Greg Meskel, ahead of UCLA and Stanford, a rematch of last year's semifinal won by the Bruins, the eventual national champions. Here is our bracket as it stands, everything holding to form. USC, a dominant effort against Fordham, 16-7. They get the win, and that sets the table for our second semifinal. Who will join the men of Troy in the final? UCLA and Stanford. John, these two teams yesterday with pretty convincing victories. They were not entertaining upsets in their quarterfinal play.
Two very well prepared teams, knowing very well that this was the likely outcome they would find themselves in, and both teams have brought some fans in here. Feels like a home game for either team in here. Stands are packed.
One of the great venues for water polo in the United States, and when we look at UCLA and Stanford, defense comes to mind. We start first with the keeper for the Cardinal, Wes Temkin.
Yeah, Wes Temkin, one of the best goalies in the country, let alone one of the best goalies in the world in his age group, a bronze medalist for a couple of summers ago for the USA Junior National Team. The Princeton transfer here, going to make a big impact in this game if Stanford's going to break it through.
And then for the UCLA Bruins, the full-time starter this year after starting the final a season ago, Nate Tauscher.
The 2024 hero for the Bruins, coming in and helping them win the championship late last year in the season. Nate Tauscher, the modern-day grad, a very technically sound goalie, knows how to move through laterally in the cage and ready to perform at the highest level today.
And there's a look at the Cardinal bench underneath that tent there. The Stanford staff, they are led by the head man, Brian Flax, in his fourth season previously at Harvard Westlake, looking for his first collegiate championship. Will have to make it to an NCAA final. He got his team back to the NCAAs last year after a couple of years away, and then a coach that has piled up the titles over the last 10 years. Adam Wright in his 17th season leading his alma mater with some gaudy numbers there. He has 5 NCAA championships, the most recent last year.
Yeah, 395 career wins there and only 70 losses. That's a testament to consistency and sustained excellence for Coach Wright and the Bruins. Always hard to win the second time, going back-to-back. Tougher. See if the Bruins can come through, and you see the crowds just going back and forth here.
Talked with Jason Fowles, the associate head coach for the Bruins, and asked about the prior meetings between UCLA and Stanford. The Bruins taking all the matches earlier this year against the Cardinal. He said maybe so, but pretty evenly matched teams like to do a lot of the same things. Strong defense, play for our 2-meter game, and that's almost one of the reasons why it's challenging, because you're almost holding up a mirror and going against yourself in some ways.
No doubt, and difficult to beat a team multiple times in the season. So while it may seem like advantage UCLA for having those early season wins, regular season wins, it's tough to keep that going against an opponent like Stanford. So Stanford has a little bit of an edge here, I think, coming into this game, playing at home, and also knowing that they can get the upset going into the final.
They met first on September 20th. That was a 13-12 win down in LA for UCLA. And then again, they met up here in this very pool on October 5th. That was a 14-11 win for the Bruins. They met again on November 1st. That went to golden goal overtime in LA. That was a 13-12 win for the Bruins. And so now you have on tap here meeting number 4. And there's Brian Flax and his assistant, the Bruin, Matt Farmer. I asked him about this UCLA team and said they are relentless. They're down, they're up, they never stop working. He says, as an alumni, I'm proud of that. But as their opponent, that is challenging and something that we have to prepare for.
And Matt Farmer, a champion himself for the Bruins, and somebody who knows what it takes to win at the highest level. He'll bring that competitive edge for the Cardinal today. But both these staffs, Greg, we talked about the goalies, but we talked about the coaching staffs. These are 2 of the most well-prepared teams in the country. We saw that with USC earlier. I thought their preparation was on point for that semifinal to get them where they're at today. This is going to come down to who can ride the emotion best come fourth quarter, because it's going to be a one-goal game the whole way.
Our officials, Scott Volz, Ross Spiritosanto, and this semifinal is off and running. The Cardinal control to get us started in the Whitecaps, moving right to left on your screen. UCLA in the blue defending. Stanford in an 18-7 on the year, an at-large selection from the MPSF. UCLA, an at-large likewise, 25-2. They were number one for large portions of this season. The first entry into the big man, Alex Gheorghe, and it's taken away. The rest of the starters for Stanford. Temkin in the cage, Ryan Ole, CJ Indart, Gianpiero Di Martire, Botan Balok, and Ben Forer. And now UCLA. Told you about Tauscher, Wade Sherlock, Peter Castillo, Noah Rowe, Jackson Harlan, Chase Dodd, and Ryder Dodd. Here is Ryder Dodd. Timer to 2, and putting it high and away was Noah Rowe. They'll say a tip out there that Temkin got a fingernail on that one.
Yeah, ball went the wrong way. Save Temkin there. And Noah Rowe, a consistent performer for this UCLA Bruins team. Underrated. We don't get to call his name much because he does all the things you don't see in the stat sheet all the time, but an elite player for the Bruins, and what makes them so deep, Greg, when we talk about this bench later in this contest.
And a sign of his competence, he's been a regular player since his freshman year for this team.
That's right.
This is a tough lineup to crack. Chase Dodd to younger brother Ryder Dodd. Opening minute here in this one. It's Dodd. Let it fly. And a big reaction from the Olympic bronze medalist as he cashes in to get us started.
So Rowe and Dodd play a little catch, go back and forth. Ends with a cross-face catch and shoot for Dodd, and he goes right back to the bench. Look at that, just quick release, so quick. You see everybody reacting there just a second late. Dodd a step ahead, 1-0 UCLA. Large UCLA contingent on hand here, of course. A ton of Stanford fans in the house as well. Forer goes inside, reverse spin, exclusion drawn. And a power play for Stanford, our first. The foul goes against Jackson Harlan. Forer steps up. It's Di Martire, GP, 1-1. GP, are you with me? Early in this game, the grad student, Di Martire, beautiful 6-on-5 there for the Cardinal. Watch how the ball moves forward, and that ball moves so well off of Forer's hands. Over the head of Tauscher, then for the finish for Di Martire, and it's going to be a blow-for-blow heavyweight match here, Greg, and we've already seen it in the first minute 30. Against his former team, Di Martire, the transfer from UCLA, and is able to hit. The second wave now on for the Bruins. They have so much depth, as do the Cardinal. Lathy working out high, a drop, and then a takeaway. Bodie Brinkema couldn't hang on. Here come the Cardinal. Temkin looking for an outlet. And a good recovery there. Carcelade does the job to slow down Schneider. Yeah, great transition defense there, despite the turnover from UCLA. Schneider now setting up shop inside at 2 meters for Stanford. Di Martire stuffed by Tauscher. Tried to go back-to-back, and Nate Tauscher denies him. Talked about the depth at the center position for both teams. You're going to see Schneider now in. Gheorghe, who came in and draw the first exclusion. Keep an eye inside now. They go to Sichi. He turned inside and drew an exclusion, and now UCLA has their first extra man. Brinkema and Lathy on this near side. Carcelade, here's Max Matthews. Lathy waving that ball around. Timer to 10. Oh, passing is on point! Ben Larson! The old boom boom! Post to post. One of the favorite plays in water polo. You get the ball inside of the post player passes the opposite post. Boom, boom! Larson with the finish. Great feed there from Seichi, who drew the exclusion at the start. This three-headed monster for UCLA at the center position. To be able to go Seichi, Castillo, Lathy, and then multiple post-up people around there as well. The Bruins' depth paying off early.
2-1 lead, UCLA. Another exclusion drawn by Stanford. Power play to the Cardinal. Greg Carson heading out. McFarland on now. DeMartire. Here's below, firing in Tauscher. Loose ball. And Chase Dodd right there to help gather it up.
A couple of big saves early on here for Tauscher. We talked about in the beginning of the game.
Sherlock now. Around the pool they work it. Rowe knocked down. Here's Matthews. Timer to 4. It's Rowe. Rowe drops it inside, and with 1 on the shot clock, an exclusion is called. Power play to the Bruins. Their second. Rowe once again goes Sherlock. Outside Ryder Dodd. Timer ticking down off the frame of the cage. Long rebound. It's a sprint for the ball. Oh. Sherlock in a race. Oh, how about the speed from Chase McFarland?
Oh, wow. Put on the afterburners to get that one.
Get that man in the 50 free. 3:35 to go in the first. Ordinary. Hands up, but no head seen at 2 meters. Now DeMartire rebuffed. Right back to the Cardinal.
Noah Rowe with that field block. We talked about him already. Playing offense and defense right now for the Bruins.
Below now 4. It's DeMartire. Tauscher got a piece of that. He's been active early. We'll stay here with a fresh shot clock. Tauscher 10 saves yesterday in the win over Princeton, 15-11. Cardinal getting past Davis, 15-9. Offensive. And it's back to the Bruins.
That's tough. After a fresh shot clock like that, you want to teach your players to remain less active. Right? Save that early on. Offensive gets the ball back to the Bruins.
It's Dodd now. Working to Sherlock. They keep it out high. A bevy of fakes. Double team. Whitecaps are there, and 4 with the takeaway from Eli Lathy.
Yeah, good defense from the Cardinal. It may seem like UCLA's been doing all the right things, but Stanford knocking at the door every possession, doing the right things on the defensive end, and just meeting the wall of Nate Tauscher so far.
It's 4. DeMartire looking for his shot early. Drops it inside. Keeper out. Trouble, and they knock it down. Schneider looking for a call. He had the goalie on his back. Empty cage, but the Bruins stand tall.
And you see the signal from the official, Scott Volt, saying he's shooting, he's got the advantage. See if he can finish.
Telling Brian Flax the same thing. He had the ball in his hand. Meanwhile, on this end, knocked away. And now the Bruins are wondering where's their 5-meter call. As Lathy was moving in towards the cage. We'll get a live time sub. They'll get Jorge back on in place of Schneider.
That's a center lifetime sub out in the corner. Center for center.
They're going to have to wait for him to join the offense here. Shot clock to 10. Jorge now with 6 from 5 meters. Save Tauscher. Rebound in close. And it's recovered by the Bruins.
Shaq gets to shoot some threes every once in a while.
This place is ready to erupt. Fast moving first quarter. We are at the 1-minute mark. Rowe. Clock to 5. It's Chase Dodd. running out of time. Sherlock goes inside, bad pass, and Georgie's there for the takeaway.
You see the speed of this Stanford squad. They're moving out. Lots of whitewater in transition. If it's on McFarland, DeMartre, Forer, Bullock, all making moves.
Here's Botan. It's Chase McFarland. Bullock now deflected, a field block out high. Noah Rowe again, hands high. Shot clock is off. 16 seconds to go in the first.
Yeah, another good field block there from Rowe. The Bruins defensively doing their job.
Now Sherlock, 7 seconds. Ryder Dot has to come back for it. 5 on the clock, shot clock off. With 5, Dodd lost the handle. Can't hang on, picks it up, the lob. They wave it off and say no, not a valid restart there. 1 second left now. DeMartire, Tauscher punches it away, and that's all for the opening quarter. Adam Wright wants an explanation. We will head to a timeout. The high-octane, big energy you might expect between UCLA and Stanford. And through one, the Bruins a slight edge. We take a timeout and return to the farm. You're watching live on NCAA.com. Two-one lead. Gotta have the snacks.
Yeah.
That's a good combo, a little sweet and savory.
Yeah.
It appears to be chocolate and popcorn. We totally support that snack choice here. UCLA in full effect on the road here at Stanford. Now we ended that first quarter. You saw Ryder Dodd get a shot waved off. Tried to pop himself live there and then take the shot outside of 6 and checked in with Scott Volz. And this is where you have a couple of discrepancies internationally versus the collegiate rule. Internationally, which Ryder Dodd plays a lot of international water polo. That scenario, you can get yourself live, step out beyond 6 meters, take your shot. Collegiately, you can't do that. Foul was inside 6. You got to pass that ball to someone else and then get yourself free for a shot if that's what you want to do. And so that's why that play was blown dead there. As we get going here in the second. A race for it. Still a battle. Good fight there from Bodie Brinkema, Ben Forer, Ryan Ohl, all in the mix. Here's Bullock. They work along 2 meters to DeMartire. Takes a peek inside, tries to spot Georgie. He was fading, and that one just beyond his grasp.
Georgie going for that dry pass at 2 meters at the center position. Actually, a really high percentage look, something I could see Stanford continuing to work for Georgie later.
Brinkema. Back to Lathy here. Brinkema firing that pass inside. It's on the money, looking for Castillo, and it'll draw a 6-on-5. Third chance for UCLA on the extra man. Carcelade. Here's Dodd. Double team, Dodd left free, and he just misses high, glancing off the top part of the cage and away. Whistles everywhere on the way down.
They call an offensive foul on DeMartire in transition at the disbelief of Coach Flax there. They don't call that offensive, though. DeMartire's got a 1 versus goalie the other way.
Instead, they turn the ball over, keep things right here, and Carcelade has his shot blocked by Temkin. And now on the way down, we'll see an exclusion against UCLA, and Stanford has the advantage they were hoping for previously.
It's Castillo getting called out for the exclusion.
He drew the exclusion moments ago. Now he'll head to the corner. Third try for Stanford. DeMartire pops that inside, and it's C.J. Indart doing the rest.
DeMartire with the assist. He's got 2 points so far for the Cardinal. Got the first goal of the game, gets the assist here on the power play. Watch how he sets up Indart. Right in the middle, that 4-2 pass on the 6-on-5 to the post. Indart was the one who drew the exclusion on Castillo in transition, who gets rewarded with the goal at the end of the possession.
12th goal for the redshirt senior from across the bay, Danville, California. Big water polo family, the Indarts. CJ finishing his time here at Stanford. About 2 minutes gone by, second quarter. Chase Dodd. It's Ryder Dodd. It's a save from Temkin and a big yell.
Listen, if Stanford is going to pull this win off, they haven't beaten UCLA all year. Temkin's going to have to play a huge part. Blocking that Dodd-to-Dodd passing sequence. Momentum moving the Cardinal way.
They lost last year in the semifinal, 17-14 in a high-scoring affair. This has the makings of a defensive battle, at least thus far. We'll see an exclusion on UCLA. Stanford can go to work on the extra man. Tough angle, bounced off the head of Indart and out of play.
You could see the window that DeMartire saw there as he was trying to sneak that ball in on the weak side. Just missed.
There went on Larson. He's back in, and now Wade Sherlock handling. Catch and release, and again the Stanford defense is there. That one clanged off the bar. UCLA, the fast start against Princeton yesterday. The staff loved that. Felt like they had some matches where they didn't start that quickly. They're in a tussle here now, 2-2. DeMartire steps up, and he'll be heading back on defense. They'll get Schneider. That he's pulling there at 2 meters.
Yeah, grabbing the defender, trying to create some space. That was Larson there.
And now the entry in. And more power play water polo for UCLA. Sichi setting things up here. Rowe now glides in. It's back to Rowe. Temkin. Loose ball. Recovered by Stanford. That was close. Sichi had an opportunity there at that rebound.
Temkin doing it at his best, just leading the D. You see Coach Flax begging for transition here.
Here's Bullock, rise and denied. Tauscher.
What a save from Tauscher. 5 meters, Bullock. You get that shot. 9 times out of 10, I'm taking Bullock. Look at that, just
off the dome.
Yep.
Went off the head, off the canopy here, behind the pool, back on top of the cage. And he'll try and do it again halfway through this second quarter. Oh, 3 saves now for Tauscher. An exclusion as Guido Leonardi handles far side. Bullock moving in again. Tauscher's there, other hands got a piece.
Oh, that Bruin defense, 5-on-6 defense as they do. Focused, getting the field like it was Chase Dodd who was excluded there against Will Schneider, working really hard at the 2-meter position.
I told you yesterday they've worked on that hundreds of times in the lead up to this tourney. They knew 5-on-6, 6-on-5, the key to unlocking all of this. Carcelati, now Sherlock, and Wade's on the board.
Tongue out, celebrating. with the Bruin fans in the stands. What a setup from Carcelata and Sherlock, the lefty. Look at that freeze, beautiful pass. And great finish cross cage there for Sherlock. He's fired up.
Sherlock, a CIF champ with Orange Lutheran, a Junior Olympics champ with SoCal Water Polo, an NCAA champ with UCLA, and looking for more hardware. Ben Ford, one of the big guns for Stanford. They've got George surrounded like a VIP. Back to 4-5 on the clock. McFarland, no whistle. He's running out of time, and it's denied. A field block is there in close, courtesy of Max Matthews.
Yeah, tough. So much attention George draws inside. You're going to have to be able to take an outside shot when they're deep in that zone.
Bodie Brinkema controlling. Shot clock to 5. Lathy just lets loose. The big left-handed whip. 4-2 Bruins.
That's individual effort right there, Greg, from Lathy. Not much going on. Tries to make that pass. Not enough pressure on him. See McFarland. Oh, just so tough to guard there. Lathy, the left-hander.
43 goals now on the year for the junior from Newport Beach, California. Here's 4, denied. That didn't even reach 6 meters. Lathy took it down. DeMartire moving in along 2 meters below. Out to 4. This time it works for Ben Ford.
It was just a matter of time before Ford break through and get the goal. An elite shooter. Watch the ball movement. Field block the first time. Hesitation. Look at the wrist. Watch his wrist. Breaks it quick. Hezzies it into the near side. Beautiful shot there from Ford.
And a 1-goal game once again. 1:33 to go. First half, second semifinal of the day. Winner meets USC for the national championship tomorrow here at Stanford.
You get the sense here that UCLA brought some buses, brought some vans. People have come through. Stanford scores the goal, and all I'm hearing are Bruin chants along the way.
And Temkin, meanwhile, bats away that Dodd try from outside. Bruins, like so many teams in this tourney, expect championships. They've turned up in mass. Oh, George, and they force the ball under. Carcelata comes over to make it a triple team on the big man from Bucharest.
Yeah, so much attention drawn inside. You say doing a great job getting over their hips, covering the shooters and the center.
Step out, Temkin. Swats that Lathy try, but will stay here. .40 seconds remaining in the first half. Chase Dodd. Carcelata threading the needle inside, looking for Lathy, draws the exclusion. Shot clock is off. Bruins can take this down to the end. A bobble, the regather, and they'll regroup, and then throws out of bounds. Bruins. Carcelade, a rare miscue.
Unforced error at a tough time. Stanford's going to be up 6-on-5.
And they want to call a 30-second timeout. Brian Flax signaling for the timeout with 16 seconds left. Typically sure-handed.
Yes.
Federico Carcelade throws that ball away and opens the door here for Stanford. 16 seconds left. Shot clock is off. And that Bruins possession got a little derailed. That pass was a little off target to Lathe. He tries to recover. And that set in the domino effect of confusion for the Bruins. Ball ends up out of play.
And not just that, as Cardinal transitioned out, they drew an exclusion on Ryder Dodd. The foul on Ryder Dodd.
Power play here out of the 32nd. 10 seconds in the half. Big chance for Stanford. Bullock, it's Forer. He's knocked down. Bullock, GP. DeMartire stopped at the horn. And that's Chase Dodd and the UCLA Bruins slamming the door in this first half. The defending champs lead 4-3 as we head to intermission.
Remember that field block, everybody watching this game right now. Chase Dodd keeping this lead for the Bruins. Huge field block to end the first half.
We'll take a timeout and return to Stanford. You're watching the NCAA Men's Water Polo Championship semifinal round live on NCAA.com. One-goal margin at the break. UCLA defending champs, leading Stanford 4-3. John Abdu, Greg Meskel here with you. We look back at that first half. Championship vibes here in the semifinals. They came out firing. Ryder Dodd amped from the jump. The veteran, Gianpiero DiMartire, hitting, and that set the tone, John, right out of the gate.
Yeah, this has been a fun first half, Greg. This is high-level water polo, and you see the pace where we're going here. We're on our way to a low-scoring, relatively low-scoring, in this water polo world, defensive battle. But you're getting to see all sides of the game. Every goal scored, a high-level goal scored, and the goalie play. Unreal on both ends. Both Tauscher and Temkin doing a phenomenal job in the cage.
Our goalies, Temkin with 5, Tauscher with 3, but the saves have been critical. There's a look at Nate Tauscher. And there's a look at the Stanford women's water polo team. They are sitting adjacent to some members of the UCLA women's water polo team. That's a rivalry in its own right that'll get back underway in January when the women's season starts.
And could we see these two teams, these two women's teams, match up in UC San Diego in April for a national championship?
Very possible.
Yes, sir.
You know, it's not out of the question. It'll be warmer.
Yes. America's finest city. Here we come.
4-3 Bruins. And that's Ryan Ohl, the speedster, gets to that ball first to win the sprint. Cardinal now moving left to right here on your screen. Sun setting here as we near the 5 o'clock hour on the West Coast. Timer to 6. George, backhand. Tauscher denies him.
Tauscher so smart. Knew exactly where that ball was going. move laterally to make that block.
And if you're George, you've rarely had a moment of free space. He wanted to get rid of that in a hurry. He's been surrounded throughout this first half and then some. Drop inside and a penalty. Into Sichi. He'll draw the 5-meter.
What a pass from Brinkema. Just thread the needle. Stanford in a full zone and somehow still got the ball inside to Siche to draw the penalty.
And it'll be Carcelade to make it a 2-goal game once again. Temkin inching out of the cage. He'll be sent back. Here's the shot, and it's scored from Carcelade with his patented fist pump.
Carcelade had that turnover late in the first half. Seemingly uncharacteristic. This is how you get your confidence back. You take the penalty, you put it away, you fist pump, you hear the 8 clap, and you're ready to go.
Well, Adam Wright's talked about Carcelade being that spark of energy for this team. And you see why, right after a goal there. So much enthusiasm and just all over the pool. 1 6-on-5 leads to another. In this case, a power play after the penalty. And now the Cardinal can go on the attack. Four, firing. Another for number 30.
Not going away. Get that man the ball. The way that forward releases that ball is something to treasure. Look at that, another Hezzy, able to go off the wrist. Let's see where this one actually placed right over the head of Tauscher. The donut glazed, all for 4.
And a 1-goal game once again, 5-4. Four had 4 yesterday against UC Davis in the victory. All MPSF pick after this stellar season. Eli Lathy inside. Instead, it's a drive-through by Carcelade. Crafty idea, but the defense was there from Schneider and Ole.
Stanford continues to get stops. Where they're struggling is on the offensive end to really find the ball to their centers. They've been hitting their outside shots. See if they can string together some solid offensive possessions.
They've got Schneider back in now at 2 meters. Balok. Ole with 3. Ole up on his legs and buries it. We're tied at 5.
The sniper brings out the rifle here. Watch, everybody knew he was going to shoot that ball. Rises up on his legs and still bullets it past the Bruin defense. Ryan Ole. We saw his brother JP yesterday play for the Princeton Tigers. The Ole family. Younger brother Connor winning a CIF championship down in Newport Harbor. Ryan Ole making his presence felt in this game.
His first goal of the day, and it's a big one here. 5-5 game, 5:51 to go. Third quarter. Back to Ryder Dodd. Here's Carcelade. They keep it on the perimeter. Shot clock to 5. With 3. Carcelade has that field blocked away by Stanford.
Olin Schneider playing good defense on that side.
Leonardi moves in on the right side. Back to Ole. Let's fly. Tauscher ready this time. Gets his own rebound. And a new clock.
Follow your shot, my basketball coach used to always say. Get your own rebound. As extended possession for the Cardinal.
Good things will happen. It's back to Ole. Timer to 15. Leonardi, a shooter. Just his 6th goal on the year for the redshirt junior from Italy.
Corner pocket, look at that placement. There was only one place he could go with that ball, and it wasn't cross cage. Sneaks it in near side, through the blocker, through Tauscher, corner pocket. Leonardi with a huge goal for the Cardinal.
And Stanford goes in front, 6-5.
It was 4-2 UCLA. Since then, Stanford coming back here on a 4-1 run.
First lead of the day for the Cardinal. The Dodds out high. Inside, and Stanford giving UCLA some of their own medicine. That pass came in, and 3 Whitecaps came over to surround Sichi.
Great team defense there from the Cardinal. You feel like Mr. Momentum's wearing a white cap right now.
And it's Ben Ford cruising into the offensive end. Where does Stanford go next? DeMartire, field block there, Sichi. They'll work through a new shot clock, under 4 to play in the 3rd. DeMartire fires it into Gheorghe. Oh, big turn! And he'll draw a 6-on-5.
All 313 pounds of Gheorghe working there to draw that exclusion. Carries the Bruin defense.
Balok now along 2 meters. Here's Forer, blocked out by Tauscher. So this is a lengthy offensive possession now for the Cardinal.
Just in general, the 3rd quarter seems like if there was a time of possession, stat kept, ball has been in Stanford's hand most of the time.
Here's DeMartire, pops it inside Tauscher. What a block! And the Bruins defense holds off an extended run there by Stanford.
What a stand there from Tauscher, and the Bruins needed to keep this at a 1-goal game.
Dodd out to Matthews, back in action after missing the MPSF tourney. The exclusion and a timeout called by UCLA. Gheorghe going off, and the Bruins will have their 6th power play. They're just 1 for 5. There's Matthews. He had a fall against USC in the regular season finale. Thankfully for Matthews, only ended up being a bone bruise. They got him checked out. He missed the MPSF tourney. It was right down to the wire if he'd be named to this roster for the NCAAs. Got cleared medically, and he's an important part of their rotations.
No, he's a big part of what they do, and it's so funny you say that about everybody on UCLA. That's why they're such a good team. Everybody we mentioned is like, that's a big part of what they do.
30-second timeout, 6-on-5 for UCLA, down 1. Ryder Dodd inside 5 meters. Lathy's knocked down. Carcelade now takes a peek. Castillo's there on the far post. Shot clock to 8. Sides come even. Advantage is over. Uh-oh, Castillo inside. A fake fire and hit.
Great finish there from Castillo. That will go down as an even strength goal. But you saw Stanford, just a miscommunication on defense. You see both defenders both go to the ball and leave Castillo right in front of the goal. That's a defensive breakdown for the Cardinal that you rarely see. But an attack late there as teams are coming even, sides are coming even, and Castillo gets the goal to tie this up.
Saw Ryan Old come back, try to help in the cage with a single-arm defense. To no avail. It's 6-6. And Castillo, the sophomore, another Newport Harbor guy, they're all over this NCAA tournament. He has his 20th goal. There's a look at Adam Wright, Olympic silver medalist in his playing days with Team USA. This current generation, though, probably just knows him as Coach Wright. He's been doing this so long.
That was 2008 USA silver medal at the Olympics. Next medal the USA won was in 2024 in Paris. Bronze medal for Team USA and the men.
Shot clock to 10. Balok. DeMartire in dart now. Running out of time. DeMartire at the buzzer, and he is high and away. In transition. The Cardinal excluded. Under 2 to play in the third quarter.
That's DeMartire getting sent off. Power play for the Bruins.
And now Brinkema. Dodd and Carcelade. It's Ryder Dodd measuring this attack. He's doubled. Brinkema with one. They're out of time. They do not get a shot off. What defense? Down a man to force a shot clock violation.
That was perfect 5-on-6 from the Cardinal.
And watch out now on this end. A race for the ball. And Stanford is there first. Chase McFarland leaking out, couldn't convert. They'll reset. Oh, scored earlier. Gets it back here, 10 on the timer. Lob attempt, it's pretty! It's Ryan Ole!
Now it feels like a Stanford home game. The crowd's come alive. The cross cage lob from Ryan Ole. Gets out to his suit. Places it. Usually throws the fastball. Goes with the changeup. Putting it away. And a big shout out to the Stanford crowd. And a big shout out to all 10-year-olds out there watching the game. The score is 6-7.
Glad you did that because I wasn't going to touch it.
No. My son would be proud of me right now.
That's good. That's good. That's all that matters. Under a minute to play now in the third. It's Dodd. Lathy off the post. And Ole's there for the rebound. Stanford will take a breath here with about 30 seconds to go in this third quarter. About a 13-second difference, shot and game clock. So UCLA should get another look. For Balok now with 5. He'll try a lob. Oh, no. Close call. Glancing off the post. Timer off. 8 seconds left. Here's Lathy. 5 seconds. Dodd. Firing high. 2 seconds left.
That was Ryan Ole, the 101 defense against Ryder Dodd to get that field block.
And they'll hang on to the ball. No last second heave here from Ben Four and the Cardinal. But how about Stanford? Down 4-2 once upon a time. They lead 7-6 with a 4-goal outburst in that third quarter to pull in front with 1 quarter left. And our second semifinal winner moves on to the national championship. We will take a timeout and return to Stanford. You're joining us live on NCAA.com. On the way. Great energy here at Avery. Stanford, UCLA winner moves on to the national championship against USC. Good turnout from both the Cardinal and Bruin faithful. A lot of women's water polo athletes here to cheer. Get a good look at the stands that are above us here. This is the side that fills in first.
That's standing room only on both sides here, Greg. This is a massive aquatic stadium here at Avery Aquatic Center. You're talking about over 2,000 people here watching this game live. Hopefully everybody watching in at home on the stream. Sure to tune in tomorrow to ESPNU for the final as well.
Yeah, 3 o'clock Pacific, live on ESPNU, streaming on the ESPN app. John and I will have it for you. Looking forward to that one. Whoever ends up in the championship. We've got one more quarter here at least. Carcelade on this first possession for UCLA. He goes on the interior, and Stanford is there for the ball under.
Good crash there again. Siche, who was posting up. This is going to be an incredible fourth quarter here, Greg. Every possession matters.
It's been a tight game throughout. 2 goals, the biggest margin. Oh, inside, big spin, and then a deflection and a knockaway. Jorge got the turn inside. Siche came over to help. Ten on the shot clock. Dodd got us started on a shot from the outside. Lathy stuffed by Temkin, but right out to Ryder Dodd. Here's Carson. Chase Dodd gets it back. Where do the Bruins go? Dodd winds up. He's field blocked.
The Cardinal defense coming through here in the fourth. Save from Temkin. Field by Babalak. They can keep the defense. They don't need to score any more goals. They can play 6 minutes of great defense and win this game.
Pressure on the perimeter. And a little too much extra at 2 meters. And Stanford will turn it over. Official giving that bear hug sinking signal for what was transpiring at 2 meters. And now it's back to UCLA. Looking for our first goal here in the fourth. 2 minutes and change gone by. Carson walks it in, and he is stopped by Temkin. 8 saves now for Wes Temkin.
Lets out the shout. Again, blocks that ball with his chest, his stomach. He's able to move. He's reading the shot while the shooter's shooting. Great save there from Temkin.
Finds hole on the outlet. Shot clock to 6. 4 inside. Jorge, he's stripped. Chase Dodd coming over to help. The minute that goes in to Jorge, the Bruins show up 3 and 4 athletes.
And that's 3 minutes straight here, Greg, in the fourth quarter. No whistles and no goals. The clock is ticking.
And guys are probably getting a bit tired. A lot of end-to-end. Dodd! We're tied! 7-7. Need a goal, give it to a generational talent.
That'll stop the clock right there. Big goal needed for the Bruins, not just to tie the game up, but to stop the momentum, catch your breath, get the subs in. Both sides now making their changes. We expect nothing less here, Greg, down the stretch.
95th goal on the year for the MPSF Player of the Year, the reigning Katina Award winner.
Don't forget, that's less than the 100 that he had the season before.
Just give him a little more time. He might get there. 7-7, under 5. Schneider now. And Matthews in a battle at 2 meters. It's Balok here, shrugging off a foul from Dodd. 4!
Ooh.
Was there a tip? There was. Bruins disagree. Officials consulting via headset, confirming Tauscher got a little bit of that ball. We'll stay here with a new shot clock. DeMartire opened the scoring for Stanford. Forer, Tauscher. Loose ball. And they'll say it did touch out of bounds on that Tauscher save. So again, Stanford can go back to work with a new shot clock.
Yeah, it's 2 quick saves there for Tauscher, holding the line for the Bruins.
Another bite of the apple here for the Cardinal. Entry in.
Yep.
And now an exclusion. Even more offense for Stanford. Their 9th power play. They're 3 for 8. As we near the halfway mark of this 4th quarter. DeMartire moving in. So many threats on the perimeter. Forer, save, Tauscher. Yes, we'll stay here. Sides come even, advantage is over. But UCLA, this is a long time on defense yet again.
Yeah, that's Forer going to try to go over the head of Tauscher again. Went for the donut again. Missed that out, but time of possession in the second half still belongs to Stanford.
Ordinary. Here's Bullock. Forer. It's DeMartire. DeMartire takes a look. Inside once again. The turn, and UCLA. What a defensive stand here to not allow a goal on defense for what felt like an eternity.
3 Bruins led by Ryder Dodd on that crash inside to Schneider. Just great defense there.
A 7-7 game, defending champs in a battle here with Stanford. Let's look at who has won the title in recent years. UCLA ending that 3-year run for the Cal Golden Bears. And then it was UCLA back in 2020, the last Stanford title. It was in 2019 in Stockton. So they're trying not just to get back to the championship final, but also to win their first title in some time. And as we complete the teams in the semifinals, we'll tell you that USC, their last title in 2018. So it's been a UC show as of late here between the Bruins and the Bears.
Yeah, shout out to Sacramento, University of California, Office of the President there. Your UC schools have been representing here in men's water polo the last 5 years.
Adam Wright has the play sheet out. No shortage of opportunities and options. 7-7, 323. What a statement by their defense to have repeated opportunities for Stanford, including a 6-on-5, and to kill them all off is next level.
Yeah, we talked about the time of possession. I've said this a couple times now. The ball has been in Stanford's hands the majority of this second half. And for UCLA to keep him only at 7 goals so far in this game is a testament to the team defense, the tactics, and then, of course, Nate Tauscher just keeps making save after save, some of them point blank on the 6-on-5s.
Nate the Great, 11 saves. Stanford has been up to the task as of late defensively as well, sending everything, throwing the kitchen sink at 2 meters here. Back to live action. Brinkema now. Far corner, Lathy. Out to Brinkema from 6 meters. Brinkema firing off the post. Temkin came over, and the rebound, Indart, timeout Stanford. Both coaches save their timeouts for a rainy day here. They have a lot left as we get down to the end.
Yeah, different than what we saw in the other semifinals where coaches are calling timeouts in the first quarter. Both of these coaches, Coach Flax, Coach Wright, knowing that this game was likely going to be very close in the fourth quarter, saving them for the right time. Each coach with 2 timeouts left. Both have used their 30-second timeouts, so no more 30-second timeouts left on the table, but 2 full timeouts left for each team.
Fourth meeting of the year. One of those went golden goal, the other a 1-goal game.
Yes.
They both had some idea this might come down to the very end.
Yeah, predictable that we would be in this situation with these heavyweights. And in this point in the game, when you have 2:58 left, called 3 minutes left in the game, really, you might feel like, or you might see that the next goal wins the game, right? The way that these defenses are playing, the way these goalkeepers are playing, goals are at a premium. You call timeout, you set up a play, you run one of your set pieces that you've been practicing all year long, and you see on some of these pre-printed pieces of paper, laminated, of course, for water polo. Keep it dry. You run one of these set pieces, you get a bucket, you might win this game 8-7 the rest of the way.
The other challenge, too, and this is for both sides, to watch out for those offensive fouls. You get late in this game, and each side tries to see, hey, can I just turn the dial up a little higher physically, and are they going to call it? And that's a roll of the dice late in the game.
Yeah, and I think both these coaches will be preaching, let's be more conservative on that end, because it's okay to go in overtime. It's okay to keep playing extra water polo. Let's not take an undue risk with only 3 minutes left in the game.
A look at the Stanford contingent on another chilly night here in Silicon Valley. Under 3 to go in the fourth. 7-7. Stanford out of the timeout. Each team with 2 timeouts remaining. In Dart, controlling on the near side. Shot clock winding down. 5 seconds left. That's a tough pass on the inside, and Tauscher comes up with it. Just came up well short of George.
Not what they were looking for. Trying to get that ball to George. They have had a hard time doing that all game long. Now UCLA in a 6-on-5 counterattack.
Here comes Chase Todd. They'll let Carson shoot from that distance. Shot clock to 6. Carson with 3. They'll get an exclusion. This will go against Chase McFarland. UCLA had him right leaping up for a timeout. Getting a power play with 2:06 to go. Bruins were near the end of their shot clock there. A little heavy on the foul from Stanford, and it sets up a golden opportunity for the Bruins.
Yeah, Coach Flax beside himself for a minute there. An off-the-ball exclusion called here. Immediate timeout, UCLA. See Coach Fallitz throw the air horn. Hard to hear that thing in the stands in the crowd right now, but
it's been a tough weekend for air horns.
No.
Let's take a look at this last sequence and the penalty, rather the exclusion that is called against Stanford.
Yeah, you see the work inside there. A double post from UCLA. You're on a double post, basically putting 2 centers in at the same time, working hard. It's Ben Lathy over there who drew that exclusion. That's how good Ben Lathy, the 6'4 lefty for the Bruins, defending national champion. He can shoot from the outside. We saw that earlier in this game. He can post up and draw exclusions. He can post up and score goals. He had a big field block at some point in this game. He's doing it all for them.
2:06 to play in the fourth. All tied at 7. Bruins led early 4-2. Stanford returned the favor. They went up 6-5. 2 teams have traded goals as of late. And Tauscher puts it in play. Under 2 minutes to go in the fourth. Winner moves on to the national title match tomorrow against USC. Here's Lathy. Inside, beautiful look! Castillo! That's Ben Larson. Excuse me, Ben Larson hitting inside. 6 instead of 8. The result's the same, and UCLA goes up 8-7.
Here's the timeout play they drew up. Well spaced. You see Stanford moving out on Lathy. Ben Lathy takes the defender to him, knows he's coming, goes straight to the opposite post. You can't guard everybody when you're down 5-on-6. They left the post open. Larson puts it away. We talked about the next goal potentially being the winning goal. You may have just seen it there, folks.
Huge goal for Larson, his second today. And now a 1-goal lead for the Bruins. How does Stanford respond? Dangerous ball there. DeMartire recovers. Oh, DeMartire. Inside look, Jorge. It pops loose, and Carcelade comes up with it. 1:18 to play.
They got the ball where they wanted it, inside to Jorge. Don't get a clean look, but still have time with 2 timeouts left. They just need to get a stop here.
Coming up on 1 minute. Outside, Chase Dodd, and a save made by Temkin, but it'll keep the ball with the Bruins, and a new shot clock.
Some confusion over there in UCLA bench. They're questioning whether or not they want to call a timeout or not, but they got exactly what they wanted, which is in second possession. They get a whole other 30 seconds.
They've got 1 timeout left. They decide to play on for now. 45 seconds left in the game. Carson. Shot clock to 10. Lathy. He goes inside. It's knocked away. Stolen by 4. And Stanford will take a timeout, leaving them with 1 timeout. They'll have an opportunity here to go for the tie with 29 seconds left in the game.
Oh, the drama in Avery Aquatic Center. So here, Greg, what do you do here if you're Coach Flax? Do you start thinking about going 7-on-6? You're down 1. Do you take a higher percentage look, knowing that you have to score on this possession or this game is over?
That is a huge question here for Brian Flax. 29 seconds left. Even with that amount of time, shot clock is off.
Right.
You have to be so careful. We always talk about 7-on-6 and this premise of taking it down to the very end.
Yeah.
Do you do that here, or do you play straight up and hope that even if you miss, there's some opportunity for a rebound or something else? If you go 7-on-6, take it down to the end, yes, you keep your cage safe, but you limit your chances at anything but that last shot.
That is correct, but at 29 seconds, if UCLA were to retain possession, they also have a timeout. They retain possession, they call timeout, they're playing keep away for however the remainder of the game is, which will probably be 15 seconds or less. That's not much. We see this all the time. So if you're Stanford, you got to get your highest percentage look on the goal here. If I'm Coach Flax, I'm probably going 7-on-6 to make that happen, because you have to score.
And you can see just at the part of this huddle that's off screen, they've got a 1B goalie cap in. So that's Temkin there on the left side. He's off to the side of the pool. So they are going to go 7-on-6.
Your ability to pull the goalie, just like ice hockey. Wes Temkin on the bench now.
And so now in the pool, they've got a field player in the goalie cap.
That's DeMartire, GP.
7-on-6, shot clock off, a must-score situation where the Bruins are headed back to defend their title. 1-goal lead for UCLA. Here's Forer. Empty net on the other side for Stanford. Forer fires, bar down, stop, and the Bruins recover. Empty net on the other end. 10 seconds left. Dodd, Carcelade, it's wide open. UCLA is heading back to the championship. Carcelade at the horn. What a battle in this semifinal round. UCLA takes it 9-7 Carcelade puts the icing on this cake, and the Bruins will go up against USC once again for the national title.
A rematch of last year. Carcelade just swims this one out, but look at oh, so close. Off the bar, bars it down right behind the head of Tauscher. You're a centimeter away from tying that game.
That catches the right bounce on the water, and it's in.
Yes.
Bar down and just inches away. Instead, empty net. You understand they go 7-on-6. It was a must-score situation.
Yep.
And UCLA, Ben Larson with the go-ahead goal, and then Carcelade slams the door.
Wow.
Our bracket holding to form. It'll be 1 against 2. The top seed USC taking on number 2 UCLA. A rematch from last year. It went the way of the Bruins. Does that happen tomorrow? We will find out right here at Stanford, live on ESPNU, streaming on the ESPN app, 6 p.m. Eastern, 3 p.m. Pacific. Let's take a look at some of our final numbers in this one that was clearly the game of the tourney thus far.
Yes.
Huge defensive efforts on both sides for the Cardinal. Wes Temkin, 10 saves in cage. 2 goals for Ben Four. He was so close to a critical third. Ryan Ole adds 2 as well. For UCLA, Nate Tauscher, 11 saves. And then on the offensive end, they get 2 goals from Ryder Dodd, 2 from Ben Larson, and 2 from Carcelade, including the finale. The Bruins, despite their challenges on the extra man, where they go just 1 for 8, they find a way through. Stanford 3 for 9, and Adam Wright with some words there to GP, his former player, DeMarty Ray, who had a stellar run at UCLA, and veterans like Gray Carson, they'll get one more chance to hoist the trophy.
Yeah, what a game from UCLA. What a game in general. What a joy to watch. We always talk about these great games being around 8-7. But then we had to adjust for the new rules that there'd be higher scoring. But somehow these 2 goalkeepers and their defenses keep their opponents under 10 goals. Not a normal thing anymore in water polo to keep each team under 10. So a real classic game for us to see here.
And now we know folks in LA scrambling to catch those flights tomorrow, get in the car and make the drive. Plenty of time to get up here by 3 p.m. It'll be UCLA and USC tomorrow, 3 p.m. Pacific. Live on ESPNU, streaming on the ESPN app. But that is going to do it for us here this evening. I want to thank everyone for joining us throughout the weekend on NCAA.com. And to our entire NCAA.com crew, appreciate all their great work. Here's last looks. Carcelade with Gjorge giving chase and a big smile because he knows the Bruins are headed back to the national title match. We'll see it tomorrow live on ESPNU.